It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Stewart Brewing Company and it's a can of their Forbidden Fruit. It's a grapefruit pale ale coming in at 4.6% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. It's 39 IBUs, which is International Bitter in units. Without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. I picked this beer up in Lidl for £1.78 a can in our local Brewery store. There's a look at the beer. You can certainly pick up a bit of grapefruit there in the aroma, even from this distance. Two fingers of ever so slightly off-white head, good levels of carbonation rolling up the glass. A little bit of haze going on in there. Micro sediment, I would say, floating around in the glass. Let's in. Oh, look at that sediment now. Can you look at the bottom of the glass? Look how clear the bottom of the beer is, and as you move the glass through, you can see. Can you see that sediment there? Right, aroma. Loads of grapefruit. Loads of grapefruit. I'm a massive fan of grapefruit. It's probably one of the reasons why I love craft beer as much as I do, because I started down that road with craft beer with some of the American hop beers years and years ago, over 10 years ago now, nearly 11 years ago now. And I was like, wow, I like this. It's because I had grapefruit at a very young age. Always remember it at my grandfather's house. The very grandfather that you see every now and again on the video, he's still alive. 88 now he is. But yeah, loads of grapefruit. Lemony, zesty. A little bit of kind of light, crisp malts coming through. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. That's quite nice, that is, for a pale ale. It's quite nice. I mean, they put it on the front of the can. You're going to pick up this can and drink this can of beer because it's got the word grapefruit written on it, or you were intrigued. It shouldn't be a surprise then that when you pour the beer out and you get the grapefruit and the aroma and you taste the grapefruit that, you know, oh, I don't like this, it's got too much grapefruit in it. You bought it because of that kind of grapefruit zest in the beer, and it really does come through. But my initial, I've had some of these so-called kind of fruit beers from some of the, let's call them discount supermarkets. That's exactly what they are, and I've really not enjoyed them. I've really not enjoyed them. They've been way too, I've had a really orangey beer from Lidl in the past. I think they still sell it as a 330 milliliter can. It's way too orange flavoured for my liking, but this is just a small hint of grapefruit. It's a grapefruit flavour, very much in balance with the other aspects of this beer, the light, crisp malt flavours coming through. Very pleasant, a very pleasant beer. It's very pleasant because nothing's pulling off in one direction on its own. The the slight grapefruit flavours are coming through with the slight light wafer-like malt flavours, and it's very balanced. You got a little bit of bitterness on the back end with that grapefruit flavour. You got a little bit of sweetness over here with that lovely light crisp malt flavour that you get. It's a little bit bready and biscuity, but it's very much balanced. It's doing this. It's a nicely balanced beer. I like this. I've enjoyed this recent Lidl batch of beer. I really have. It's been something of a steady rising quality. The Coco Noco stout was terrific in this kind of October batch of Lidl Craft Beer Festival beers. It was terrific. This is very, very nice. It's very, very nice. It might be a little bit, I mean, yeah, if you've picked it up by accident and you're not a fan of grapefruit, then you're really not going to like this. But, I mean, if you've read the can and you've picked it up, and what I do generally is kind of just go, I haven't had that one, I haven't had that one, I haven't had that, and I just fill the trolley up with the beers that I haven't had, take them to the till, bring them home and have a look at them. But there's not really a beer style that I can say that I really don't like, so chances are, as long as the beer's been brewed correctly, I'm going to like it. There is one style of beer that I'm not overly enthusiastic about, and that's the smoked style beers, especially some of the smoked pale ales or the smoked barley wines, or the smoked premium ales. It's kind of that's a bit, it's a bit, you know, I get it, I understand it, but it's got to have a low level of smoke. Smoked porters, smoked stouts, very different thing. I like them very much. But that one style of beer I never quite understand. It's a pale ale like this, and it's got a smoky, bacony kind of flavour, and I'm like, I'll drink it. I don't throw anything away, but I'm kind of like, this is going to take a lot to get used to. You're kind of your Sherland curlers, that sort of thing. I mean, I understand them, I review them, I drink them, but that's one style which really kind of I struggle with a little bit. So going back to it, yeah, the reason why I just grab them all off the shelf. I like sours, I like IPAs, I like the New England IPAs, porters, stouts, saisons, all of it. I love it all. This is very good. Carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. Is it worth the £1.78 price point? Yeah, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. Right, Forbidden Fruit Grapefruit Pale Ale by Stewart Brewing Company. Tangy grapefruit flavours dominate this well-hopped pale ale, leading on to flavours of pithy zest and citrus, all backed up with a refreshing bitterness. Edinburgh's original craft brewery, Stewart Brewing, have been innovating and brewing their beer since 2004. When there was somebody at Stewart Brewing Company years ago. They brewed a beer called First World Problems. I'm sure they did, and they had like a cartoony label on it. They used to send me a lot of beer. Stewart Brewing Company, they used to send me an awful lot of beer years ago. That person's left now, and you know, I know it's dried up a bit, but I quite like the fact that I buy beers these days, and I can choose the beers that I want to review on the channel, which is cool. Right. Let's rate it. Looks good, smells good, tastes good, very well balanced beer. Drinkable, juicy, grapefruity. Nice little bit of bitterness on the back end. Would I buy it again? Yeah. If I seen this in the bar, in a pub on tap somewhere, I know what it is now. Yeah, I'd buy half of it. It's pretty decent. I like it enough. Certainly for that £1.78 price point, I think it's fantastic value for money. I like it enough to give it a 7 out of 10. So 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.